Have you ever stopped to wonder, why are you so ambitious, yet so lazy? Why do you have the appetite of a lion, but the hustle of a ghost? How is it possible to be so certain of your own genius, while being a world-class expert at doing absolutely nothing? Why does the thought of your potential excite you in the shower, but the thought of actually starting exhaust you the moment you sit at your desk? Does it scare you that your greatest talent might actually be making excuses for why you haven't started yet? Why are you a CEO in your dreams, but a spectator in your own life? Why is tomorrow your favorite word when you know deep down it's the place where your dreams go to die?
It's a haunting question, isn't it? Because you know you aren't actually lazy in the traditional sense. You aren't someone who wants nothing from life. In fact, it's the opposite. You want everything. You have a mind that operates in 4K, 120 frames per second. You can see the stage, the bank account, the impact, and the prestige so clearly, it feels like you can reach out and touch it. In your head, you're an elite performer, a visionary, a disruptor. You're the hero of a movie that hasn't started filming yet. But then, reality hits. You've been staring at the same 3 browser tabs for 5 hours. The sun is setting, your phone is warm from hours of mindless scrolling, and the only thing you've disrupted today is your own peace of mind. You are trapped in the ambitious, lazy paradox. You are a high-performance engine stuck in the mud, spinning your wheels and burning fuel, but going absolutely nowhere.
You are not alone. You belong to a very specific, very frustrated category of people. The architects of shadows. You are brilliant at designing the life you want, but you are terrified of the friction required to build it. You've built a masterpiece in your mind, but you haven't even cleared the ground for the foundation. And the worst part? You know exactly what you're doing. You are a genius at self-observation, which makes the guilt even heavier. You watch yourself waste time, narrating your own failure in real time, yet you cannot seem to reach for the lever to stop it. This isn't about a lack of character. This is about the architecture of your brain. Inside your skull, a civil war is raging. On one side, you have the prefrontal cortex, the CEO, the dreamer, the part of you that understands the concept of the future. This part wants the Ferraris, the books, the businesses, and the health. On the other side, you have the limbic system, your ancient lizard brain. This part doesn't care about your 5-year plan. It doesn't know what a legacy is. It only knows 2 things. Is this scary? And does this feel good right now? To your survival brain, your big dreams look like threats. When you think about starting that project, your brain doesn't see success. It sees uncertainty. It sees potential social rejection. It sees caloric exhaustion. It sees a predator in the bushes. So it does what it was evolved to do. It protects you. It offers you a deal you can't refuse, a hit of cheap synthetic dopamine. A scroll through a feed, a video about someone else's success, or a productive deep dive into research that you'll never actually use. You aren't avoiding the work. You are hiding in a digital bunker because the real world feels too dangerous for your ego. And then comes the most dangerous lie of all, the myth of tomorrow. We treat our future self like a superhero who will magically have more discipline, more energy, and more courage than we do today. You tell yourself, tomorrow I'll have the fire. Tomorrow the stars will align. But tomorrow is a mythical land where 99% of human potential goes to die. You are waiting for a version of yourself that doesn't feel fear, but that version doesn't exist. Success is not the absence of fear. It is the total dismissal of it. Let's talk about the shift. Most people tell you to just do it, or set a timer. That's boring. That's for people who don't have the fire you have. To break this cycle, you have to embrace the art of being terrible. Your problem isn't laziness, it's your ego. You are so attached to being the genius that you refuse to be the beginner. You'd rather stay a potential success than become a visible failure. You have to commit to low-resolution action. When you imagine your goal, it's in 8K. It's perfect. But when you start, it's going to look like 144p. It's going to be blurry, ugly, and embarrassing. The shift happens when you fall in love with the blur. You have to stop being the architect who sits in the office looking at blueprints, and you have to become the construction worker who shows up in the rain, covered in mud, doing work that looks nothing like the final palace. You need to value the sweat more than the vision. Stop trying to find motivation. Motivation is a fair weather friend. It shows up when you're in the shower or lying in bed, but it's nowhere to be found when the laptop is open and the room is quiet. You don't need motivation. You need a ritual of defiance. You need to look at that resistance, that physical weight in your chest that tells you to check your phone, and you need to say, I see you, and I'm going to do this badly anyway. Break the God complex. You think you're too big for small steps. You think writing one sentence or doing one push-up is beneath you. But your big ideas have produced 0 results, while small steps produce momentum. Momentum is the only force in the universe that can kill the ambitious, lazy paradox. Once you move, the friction decreases. The monster under the bed disappears when you turn on the light. Your environment is either a wind at your back or a wall in your face. If you were trying to build an empire while sitting in a room designed for consumption, you will lose every time. Your phone is a casino in your pocket, and the house always wins. If you want to change, you have to make the wrong things difficult and the right things inevitable. Hide the phone, clear the desk, create a space that demands focus. The world is full of ambitious people who will die with their best ideas still locked inside their heads. They will have planned the greatest businesses and imagined the greatest lives, but the world will never know their names. Don't be a ghost in your own life. The gap between the life you have and the life you want is called friction. You have been avoiding it, but friction is where the heat comes from. Friction is where the fire starts. Close the tabs, silence the noise. Stop being a spectator of your own potential. The architect has done his job. The plans are finished. Now, it's time for the worker to take over. Your future self isn't coming to save you. You have to save yourself right now, in the dirt, in the discomfort, in the glorious mess of taking the first step. Go be the person who does. If you like this or it resonates with you, please like and subscribe. We need your support to see that you enjoy our content. It's our sign to keep going and bring you even more stories.